What's the motherfucking deal? Professor Laurent is in the building, man. Welcome to Professor Laurent's class today, man. If y'all new, welcome to the classroom, man. And if you've been here, you've been watching, man, welcome back. Like I said, you already know the routine, man. Go ahead and get y'all pens and papers out, man. We finna get into business, man. So I know that some of us are heavily into politics. Some of us don't really care too much about politics. We don't think that like going out of our way to involve ourselves in politics really makes a difference because some people think that, hey, shit, this shit is set up, this shit is rigged. So even if I choose to vote for something, they already have who the fuck they want, who's gonna be in office, who's gonna be senator, who's gonna be, a part of the Congress team. You know what I'm saying? So some people don't really see a point in getting involved in politics. Some people are undereducated. Some people don't know, right? Some people really truly do not understand politics, and that's what I'm here to do. Is here to give us the basics, the foundation of politics, so we can understand all together. You know what I'm saying? I know there's people that are way more educated in politics than I am, right? I'm undereducated if I'm being real, but I know enough. I know the basics of it. So, like I said, that's where I'm building that bridge. I'm building that gap. So, for the people that are educated and the people that aren't educated, we can learn together. You know what I'm saying? So, now we get into business, man. So, make sure y'all get y'all pens and y'all papers out, man. Because it's about time y'all learn something. You feel me? So, what is politics? What is the simplified definition of politics? So how I see politics is when organized groups of people, or you could say organization of people, right, pretty much try to come up with decisions that are in the best interest of the people, the best interest of us. You know what I'm saying? And they do that by managing problems, right, finding solutions, trying to find, trying to minimize conflict, right? And they try to do that by coming to agreements, negotiations, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Start with a C. Compromising, right? Being able to compromise. And they try to do these things, they call it diplomatically, right? By, like I said, having meetings, having sit downs, trying to understand, figure out solutions, right? They try to do that rather than doing it through violence, through war. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give y'all an example, right? And this is gonna be a made up example, right? So we got the purple hat gang, and then we got the green sock bandits, right? Or the green sock demons. Feel me? These two organizations or groups of people, they don't agree on shit. They don't they cannot agree on anything. Like they believe totally different things, right? But they built this thing called the government, their own government, right? To figure out how can we serve the people? How can we make sure that our citizens, our residents, like I said, are living the best quality life, trying to make sure that we make decisions with them in mind, right? Feel what I'm saying? So the Purple Hat Gang, they believe in equality for women. They believe that women should be able to vote. They believe that women should be able to work. Women should be able to have the same equal opportunities that men have. Now, the green side demons are on the other side, believe the other side. They believe that women shouldn't have rights. They don't believe that women should be equal to women, right? So they believe that women should be able to work, they should be able to vote, they shouldn't have a say so in any of the laws that go on in the land, right? So this is where these two groups of people they work together to compromise. You feel what I'm saying? Now I know that is a crazy scenario, but it's history. This has happened. Like I said, it's still countries I'm pretty sure out in the world today that don't allow women to vote, that don't allow women to have equal opportunities as men for whatever reason. I truly don't know, right? So this is where the government comes in at. The government comes in to where these two work together to figure out how can we best serve the people? How can we best come to the best solution for women, right? And this is just one topic. This is just one subject that they deal with. Not now. Now we're more like, okay, women can work, women can vote, do that. We don't really, you know what I'm saying? But hundreds of years ago, it wasn't the case like that, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to the women, you know what I'm saying, that put in that work throughout history to make sure that women now have the freedoms that they have today. You know what I'm saying? So we got to shout out to those women, even the men too, but shout out to the women because I know a lot of women sacrificed their life to make sure women had those that I can't even talk. Make sure that women got these opportunities to be able to do what they want to do. You feel what I'm saying? So now we finna introduce the role of the government, right? So is the government is a set of people, right? Organized set of people that make laws for the people of the land, of the citizens, and make rules that make sure that the rules are being followed, right? And they, do this by building institutions, build these buildings where, hey, we're gonna make sure that this this government over here, this branch of government over here, they have these set of rules. This government over here, they have these set of rules. And this government over here had these set of rules. They all work damn near all correlate. You feel what I'm saying? They all are connected, right? But they have each individual responsibilities, and they made sure that each branches of these governments don't overstep their boundaries. And this concept is called checks and balances, where we make sure that, hey, this is your shit, but you can't do what we do, right? This branch over here, we handle making laws. Y'all handle making sure that the law gets followed. You feel me? Y'all don't make laws. We make the laws. And this branch over here, we make sure that, hey, when y'all break the law, y'all come to us, and we make sure that what you did is in line with what we call the Constitution. You feel me? So they make sure that each branch of government follows their own set of rules and do not overstep their boundaries. You feel me? So now we finna get into the branches of government, right? Catch what I'm saying? So now we finna get into the branches of government, the branches of the American government, right? So we're gonna start off with the legislative branch. Now you could think of this branch like the board of members of a company, right? And I'm gonna try to reference the branches of government like a company, so you could kind of understand how they roll in society. You feel me? So the legislative branch is like the board of directors, right? They make the rules. You feel what I'm saying? So the legislative branch is made up of the Senate and the House of Representatives, right? So when you combine them together, they make Congress. The U.S. Senate and the House of Representatives together make U.S. Congress. So the House of Representatives is made up of 435 elected members, right? And they're pretty much divided among 50 states. You know what I'm saying? So how pretty much the members, right? The members of the House, they're chosen every 2 years. It must be no younger than 25 years old, a citizen of the U.S. for 7+ years, and a resident of the state that they're going to represent, right? So now we're going into the Senate. So the Senate is composed of 100 senators, 2 for each state, and they are chosen to serve a 6-year term by the people of each state. So 1/3 of the seats is up for re-election every 2 years. Senators must be 30 years old, a U.S. citizen for at least 9 years, and the resident of the state that they represent. I don't know what I'm gonna redo. So the House of Representatives is made up of 435 members divided among the 50 states. So we're gonna get into the requirements to be in the House of Representatives. So you must be a citizen in the U.S. for at least 7 years, right? You must be at least 25 years old, and you must be a member of the state that you're going to represent, right? So yeah, I think that's cool. All right, bet. So yeah, so another thing too is that members of the House of Representatives are chosen every 2 years, right? So that's the cycle. That's the cycle of how they represent. That's how they choose. You feel me? I'm probably gonna redo that. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I think we said that right. So now we finna break down the Senate, right? That sounds so fucking stupid. What the fuck do I mean by that? So now we get into the Senate part of the shit. So the Senate is composed of 100 members, 2 for each state, right? So they're chosen to serve a 6-year term and 1/3 of the seats is up for re-election every 2 years, right? So to be a member of the Senate, you have to be at least 30 years old. You have to be uh, uh, 30 years old, U.S. citizens for 9 years, and the resident of the state they represent. Fuck. So to be a member of the Senate, you have to be at least 30 years old. You have to be a U.S. citizen for at least 9 years, and you have to be a member of the state that you represent. So that is how you become. That's how you would get into being a part of the U.S. Congress / the legislative branch, right? So now we finna get into the role and responsibilities of the legislative branch. You know what I'm saying? So now we get into the job or the role of the U.S. Congress / the legislative branch, right? So the legislative branch's job is to enact a bill, enact legislation, So now we finna get into Congress's job / the legislative branch's job, right? So their job is to enact legislation, pretty much where they pass a bill, right? They are able to declare war. They're able to deny or confirm presidential appointments, and they're also in control of the taxing policies and the spending policies of America, right? So boom, we got the executive branch up next. Catch what I'm saying? So you can think of the executive branch like the CEO plus the managers of a company, right? They make sure that the law is enforced or making sure that people follow the law, right? Follow the rules, shit like that, right? So who was a part of the executive branch? So you got the president, right? The head honcho with the shit. So president is referred to as the head of state and also is the commander in chief of the armed forces or the army, shit like that. You know, the army, military, shit like that. And like I said, they top dog of the executive branch. Now we're gonna go to the next, the sidekick, right, which is the vice president, right? So the vice president supports the president, right? And will become the president if the president cannot serve, right? For whatever reason that may be. The vice president run the U.S. Senate and they break ties and Senate votes. And next we have the cabinet, right? So the cabinet serves as advisors to the president. Cabinet members are chosen by the president, but they must be approved by the Senate. That's what I'm saying. So what is the job of the executive branch? The executive branch's job is to make sure that the laws are being followed, right? Make sure to enforce laws passed down by the legislative branch, enforcing laws around schools, child protection, safe workplaces, and social services. The president can negotiate and sign treaties, which are agreements between other countries. The president also has the ability to issue executive orders, which is something that is written and signed by the president that allows the president to tell federal agencies on how to do their job, pretty much. Like, hey, I'm telling you, this is how you do your job. You know what I'm saying? I'm making sure that, you know what I'm saying, what the man, gotta do your job, you feel me? So next, we have the judicial branch. So the judicial branch is like the HR department mixed in with the legal department of a company. So the judicial branch consists of the Supreme Court and some other federal courts, which are the Court of Appeals, district courts, bankruptcy courts, and there's, I think, a couple more federal courts that are in the are part of the. Can't even talk. There are other federal courts that are part of the judicial branch. You know what I'm saying? So I'm probably gonna go over what each of the federal courts do and their responsibilities, but we're just gonna go over what the judicial branch does as a whole, right? So the primary role of the judicial branch is to interpret the meaning of the law, apply laws to individual cases, and decide if the laws do or don't align with the Constitution. Boom. So now we get into the political parties, right? And I'm only going over two of them, which is Democrat and Republican, right? There are other third parties. Can't even fucking talk. There are other lesser known parties called third parties, right? That aren't as known or don't have as much They don't get as much recognition. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go over the different third parties in just a second. So let's get to the main two, right? So we're gonna start off with the Democratic Party, right? So the U.S.'s Democratic word has been around since the late 1700s, but it officially became its own party during 1828. So some of the beliefs of the Democratic Party are to lower the amount of military spending. They want more gun control laws. They're pro-choice, which means accepting if women want to get abortions. They are in support of gay marriage. They want higher taxes for higher income. So pretty much the more money you make, we want to make sure that you get taxed more. And then they are more supportive of immigration. So they are accepting the people that are from foreign lands or foreign countries and okay with them coming in. They want to make sure, I don't want to say make sure, but I'm assuming that they want to make the process for you to become a U.S. citizen smooth. You know what I'm saying? And next, they believe in climate change, trying to use more clean energy for the betterment of the planet. So now we're going to get into the second major party, which is the Republican Party. So the Republican Party was officially formed in 1854. The Republican, the Republican Party is the second main political party in the U.S., right? So some of the beliefs of the Republican Party are to up the amount for military spending. They are against gun control. They don't want nobody having to say so and how citizens have access to the guns, things like that. And they're pro-life, so they're against abortions. They're mainly against gay marriage, less tax from people that make a lot of money. So they want people that make a lot of money to not pay as much tax. Pretty much what the fuck going on right now, right? They don't really support immigration, so they don't want people from other countries coming in, and pretty much they want to make the process of being a U.S. citizen harder, right, for people that are from different countries. And they're not for climate change. So I'm gonna go over some terms that get thrown around in the political field, and I want to make sure that we all get an understanding of what it means, right? Like left wing, right wing, liberal, conservatism, shit like that. So liberal and left wing, which refers to the Democratic side, they support government programs to help with people in need, easy access to healthcare, right? And they are supportive of having more social programs, like I said, for people that need different services and things like that. Democrats believe that the government should play a bigger role in solving social and economic problems, right? So liberal and left wing are more up for change, up for, you know what I'm saying, not sticking to traditional roles and, wanting pretty much being for the people, right? So conservative and right wing refer to the Republican side. They want the government to be less involved by having less programs for people in need, more security by the border. So, like I said, people that come in from like Mexico or, you know what I'm saying, they want to make sure that, hey, people ain't just coming in this motherfucker, just, you know what I'm saying, finna sneak in this bitch, you know? And that individuals, businesses, and local government should be the main ones running things for themselves instead of the federal government, right? So they want pretty much shit to be local, right? Within its own, you know what I'm saying, territory, whatever. Like, hey, like for example, I'm in Kansas. Kansas people, y'all figure out your own shit, right? We don't need, the federal government, like, the U.S. Senate or the Congress, whatever, to come help us. No shit like that, nigga. Y'all figure your own shit out. We might help when we can or whatever, but y'all figure shit out by yourself. So that's kind of the mindset of conservatism, right? Um, so we have the left, right? So the left stands for progressive change, accepting the beliefs that are changing, adapting with modern times. The right stands for keeping things traditional. So we want to make sure we keep things the same. We don't change too much. Like I said, we stay in line with things that have been passed over through centuries. So that's kind of the difference, right, between the left and the right. Conservatism and liberal, right? Liberal, left wing, we want change. We want things to be better, right? Conservatism, right wing, we want things to stay the same. We don't want nothing changing. We don't want nothing, you know what I'm saying? We're not with adapting. We're not for adapting. We're not with trying to, none of that. We want things to kind of align with, you know what I'm saying, traditional values. Catch what I'm saying? So now we finna go over the parties that aren't as known, right? and we refer to these parties as third parties. So they don't get as much love as the main two. And I think I should do a video on why they don't, but we gonna see. We gonna see. You know what I'm saying? So I'm finna go ahead and give them some recognition, right? So we have the Libertarian Party, we have the Green Party, we have the Reform Party, and the Constitution Party. And I think it's some other parties out there that I kind of seen, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just include a couple of them, shit like that. But I think there's more third parties as well out there. And like I said, I might do a video on the lesser known parties, right? But now we finna get into what things politics affect, right? So one of the main things they affect is taxes, our education, access, affordability to healthcare, jobs, the way our roads be looking, the laws that we live by. They affect the prices of everything. You know what I'm saying? Gas, you know what I'm saying? Groceries, shit like that. They affect our freedom and how we live our day-to-day life, right? And it might be things that you don't pay attention to, but everything, politics literally damn near affect how we live, especially in America, right? So that's pretty much the foundation of politics, right? The basics of politics. Now, I didn't go over everything. I'm pretty sure I probably missed some things. I might have mixed some things up. This would be more like a beginning video or beginner video for people that, you know, either are a little bit interested in politics or like don't know too much about politics, things like that. Now, I might not have did the best job. I need to stop really downplaying myself. I'm learning. Let me put it like this. I'm learning. And of course, I do plan on making more videos that are way more of an improvement of this. I want to make sure that it's more. If I redo a video, I'm pretty sure I'm going to redo a lot of my videos. That's one thing where I'm like, I can't even trip for real because like I'm still learning. I'm still learning and I haven't been consistent. You feel me? So I'm trying to make up for it. And yeah, so like me starting is, you know, to me is good. Me starting, you know what I'm saying? Because one thing I do, I start something and I finish it. So for me to complete this video, mind you, I was supposed to finish this video 2 days ago. But that don't even matter. The point is, I'm making the video, so I'm okay with making mistakes. I'm okay with fucking up. This is what it is. So like if I miss something or if it's something that I didn't clarify on, correct me in the comments. You know what I'm saying? That's what the comments is for. Give me criticism. Give me, you know, better, give me insight. You know, give me perspective on, you know what I'm saying, things that I can prove on, things like that. Because like I said, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to take in the criticism. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to learn. I'm here to teach as well. So that's the video, man. And also let me clarify that I'm not a political channel. I do not focus on politics, but here and there we will go over different political subjects, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, politics affect them to everything, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, understanding the basics and the fundamentals of politics is crucial. Because like I said, politics play damn near roles in everything that we do, you know what I'm saying? So that's the video, man. Hopefully y'all learned some of this video, man. Hopefully y'all come back for more, man. Professor Laurent is out this motherfucker, man, with more content. Yeah.